to the ship show every single day. A new flavor of fuckery, 'cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, hey, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash.
Hello. I'll see how quick I can do this one. I always try to do these as quickly as I can, just so, we can all get it over with. All right. Let's start with presenting screen. Oh, hello, JR Trucking. Hello, Daniel. How are you? Well, welcome. So glad that you are here. It's just about to get started. I was going to share screen, which means I won't be able to see the comments. Although, technically, I suppose I could actually just bring it up on my phone so I can see the comments there. I guess that would be a way to do it. So, hold on a second. Maybe. Or not. I do not actually see how I can do that on my phone for some reason. That's wild. That's not letting me see it on my phone for some reason or other. I do not know why I can't find it. Yeah, okay, I can't find it. I'm sorry. Oh, a happy Sunday to you as well. Oh, it's 88 degrees here, so now that it's starting to become the evening time, it's a little nicer out. I thankfully am not. I have been with somebody for 9 years, so I thankfully am not. But lots of hugs to all those who are single parents. Hugs to everybody in general, I suppose. And a happy Father's Day to you, if it applies. Let's see. All right, so yeah, I can't figure out why I can't find my live stream on my phone. Oh, I found it. Might help if I turn it down so I don't have to hear that shit. God bless that marriage. Thank you so much. You are such a sweetie. Oh, thank you. I'm a lucky girl. Anywho, I actually do want to drop a link. I don't normally do this, but boop. There we go. So if anybody does want to help out with that, that would be super awesome. So, anywho, I'm going to go to share screen. Probably share the whole screen just because it's easier. I don't have to change out some tabs and stuff. Anywho, so we're going to look over the headlines, and I'm just going to kind of complain and just tell you what I think of them. And, if it's headlines you haven't seen, y'all can always go check them out. So start this in that order. So it says GOP releases a January 6th clip of Pelosi saying, "I take responsibility." I almost feel like that's fake, because when has Nancy Pelosi ever taken responsibility for anything? As she discussed the National Guard absence. That's weird. Okay, as she's discussing the National Guard's absence. But weren't they saying that Trump's the one that said not to send the National Guard? I don't know. I feel like this is, I don't know. A previously unreleased video taken January 6, 2021 shows then Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat of California, saying that she takes responsibility for law enforcement's lack of preparedness when the mob stormed the Capitol. Are they going to talk about how they were having some kind of committee meeting and they were asking somebody, how many undercovers did you have in that crowd? And they're like, we can't answer that. And he was like, what? I'm pretty sure if anybody saw that, the thing I'm referencing. I find that just to be wild. I really do. I think there's a lot of people that are in suits and stuff that are guilty about what went on, because honestly, there was a lot of what do you call them, agent provocateurs in that. Don't get me wrong, redneck folk gotta get out of hand a little bit now and then. I live in Oklahoma, I've seen it, but not to the extent that I saw on TV. We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there. and we should have, Nancy Pelosi says in the video. I find that hard to believe. Like, I don't know. I just find it hard to believe that any of those politicians actually, take responsibility. Politicians usually only take responsibility when they have been literally caught, like, fucking the secretary, and cheated on their wife or something. Or, whatever. That's about, or maybe sometimes stealing money. Like, I don't know. That doesn't really happen as often, or at least not, and us find out about it. But, yeah, taking responsibility. My ass. My absolute ass. Anywho. Gaza's chief brutal calculation. Civilian bloodshed will help Hamas. I don't see how. I don't feel like that helps anybody, quite frankly. I think that's just some silly shit. Like, because honestly, like, it is such a fucking weird mess. Like a lot of people are benefiting from this horrible mess, and pretty much like normal, like anytime anything ever fucking happens, there's always usually poor civilians that end up catching the butt end of the whole mess, while the rich people make more money on killing people. It's wild. But anyway, for months, Yahya Sinwar has resisted pressure to cut a ceasefire and hostage deal with Israel. That's incorrect. That's incorrect because it's been shit tons of offers to have a ceasefire deal with Israel, and Israel oftentimes will say, no, we don't like this deal because, A, B, and C, whatever, X, Y, and Z, as they say. So, like, Wall Street Journal, obviously, I don't know. I mean, most of our news media is shit anyway, but I just want to, like, complain over the articles and try to read between the lines and catch them lying. So, behind his decision, the messages Hamas military leader in Gaza has sent to mediators show is a calculation that more fighting and more Palestinian civilian deaths works to his advantage. I feel like that's probably a lie. Like, it seems weird that he would say that because I don't see how a bunch of Palestinians dead benefits Yahya Sinwar at all. I don't see how it helps in any way. It doesn't make sense. Like, sometimes you look at the news and really doesn't matter like what side you're on. You got to look at what makes sense because they always say follow the money and stuff like that. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense that Yahya Sinwar would highly benefit from Palestinian deaths. It sounds like absolute shit. All right, next headline. The United States authorizes armaments supply to Ukraine's Azov regiment. I'm pretty sure we heard about these guys. They're, I guess we can't say angry little German people on here, but Yahtzees. We'll say the stupid dice game, Yahtzees. I wish I could say I'm surprised that the United States is, giving armaments to Yahtzees, but, part of the course, I guess. I mean, there isn't any real, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no integrity in this mess, never has been. It's arms deals. It's what should be considered illegal arms deals out in the open in front of everybody. They just set up a situation so bad that, they go, well, see, we have to supply these Yahtzees with weapons because, we had to fight off big, bad, scary Russia. So they know it'd be hard to hide weapons deals like this. So they just do it out in the open and tell us it's such a really good reason. We promise there's such a good reason for this. Yeah, because arming other countries has never, ever blown back in our faces, has it? No, not at all. Except, oh, wait, weren't they upset with the Soviets? And they created Al-Qaeda and gave them weapons and training to run the Soviets off from Afghanistan? And then we left them to die and just left them there? And they didn't just die. They stayed armed and trained. But yeah, other than that, I'm sure it's never blown up in our faces before. Sure not. All right, next headline. Would Speaker of the House Mike Johnson's potential resignation spell doom for Congress? Fuck, I hope so. Anything bad that happens to Congress is probably on my win list, honestly. Speaker Mike Johnson is fucking trouble. I've actually had a hard-on in a bad way toward this guy for a long time. Ever since this goofy fuck got into his speaker position. I knew from the very first day that we were absolutely fucked because, and I bitch about this every time I bitch about this guy, is like when everybody was patting him on the shoulder and congratulating him and all this shit. Nancy Pelosi, yeah, we just circle back to that a little bit, was like clapping for him and patting him on the shoulder. Mm. That tells me everything I need to know. It really does. I mean, I always like more details, but as far as where a motherfucker stands and where I stand, that tells me everything I need to know. Because, you know, if you ever wonder if someone's good or not, look at the people cheering for them. That tells you a lot. It really does. You know, if you're like, well, I don't know if I like this politician. Look who helps them. Look who cheers for them. You know, yeah, that tells you about a person. And it's not like she's a team player or anything like that. Not at all. Let's see. This doesn't seem like this is... Well, okay, it's mostly talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene for some reason, though it's an article about Mike Johnson. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is not the most liked politician. Fair. Even among her peers. Also true. She has been known for her extremist views, backing anti-Semitic, which means she doesn't want us sending money and weapons to Israel. Not that she hates Jewish people. We just don't have any business sending money and weapons to all these other fucking countries. But, you know, whatever. And white supremacist rhetoric. I actually have no idea if she's actually done that because I don't listen to her enough, so I don't know if she's saying any of this silliness or not. I don't know. She does say some pretty stupid shit occasionally. Including white... What? I'm going to have to start looking up some of the stuff she says because I actually have no idea. This shit right here, though, this QAnon, like, I'm not trying to be mean to nobody who believes it. I'm not trying to be mean. But I feel like the QAnon thing is kind of silly. And I've said this before, but I think it's a clever joke, so I'll make the joke again. I really do not think it's likely that John F. Kennedy Jr. is alive. Because when Hillary kills somebody, they stay dead. Nobody's come back from that before. I don't think they'll do it now. So, sorry if that wilts anybody, but yeah. All right. Next headline. This is wild. A judge who liked a post. He didn't even make the fucking post. He just liked it. Mind you. Judge who liked post calling Israel a terrorist state gets a formal warning. Holy shit. Now, I'm not saying he, did it on purpose or not. But just take in consideration. Oh, hello, Digital Pollution. And hello, Troy. How are you? Oh, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are so lovely. Y'all are great. But that's wild. But, think about this. Now, is there times when you've, looked at a post and you didn't read it quite right and gave it a like? Or you just scrolled through and you're like, oh, my friend posted that and just gave it a like and not really looking? There's always those possibilities, too. Now, I think it's wild that you can get a formal warning for simply liking a post. Judging by that wig, I'm going to guess this is in Britain. Probably? Maybe. I don't know. Do we have that sort of thing going on here? A senior judge who liked a post on social media that described Israel as a terrorist state and called for a free Palestine has been given a formal warning for misconduct. Fuck. Tan Ikram, 58, a deputy senior district judge, was disciplined for allowing a perception of bias by liking a post on LinkedIn, which had been put up by a barrister who has previously promoted conspiracy theories claiming that Israel allowed October 7th. I mean, they kind of did, though. We'll get into that some other day, although we have gotten to it on this channel before anyway. But holy shit, so he saw his friend had posted something, may or may not have even properly read it, and just gave his buddy a like and got a formal warning. Let's see where this guy actually is. Is he in England? Because, talking about barristers and shit, that sounds kind of fancy. And the white wig, so, that looks like some England shit. Let's see. Oh, I'm not paying your fucking paywall. Yeah, fuck off with that. All right, so it's probably in Britain because, read, see, post stated free Palestine to the Israel. I'm not saying that part because I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. In both the United Kingdom and the United States, and of course, Israel, you can run, you can bomb, but you cannot hide. Justice is coming for you. That's what they said. 3 weeks previously, Judge Ikram had decided not to punish 3 women displaying parachute images at a pro-Palestine protest 7 days after the attack. That seems like a dumb thing to post, but whatever. He gave them 12 months conditional discharges after they were found guilty of offense under the Terrorism Act. So, these women were posting, they were holding up images that were considered terrorist behavior. That's insane. And this is something I really worry about. Because this shit's going on in England, I'm guessing. This is my guess. It's probably England. But, we're not far behind because we have Democrats and Republicans. And I hate to say my party is leading the fucking charge on this shit, the Republicans. And so, they like the idea of punishing people for protesting. It's not, especially if they don't agree with it. They're like, yeah. Like, they're supposed to care about, like, the constitutional rights. And now they're going to find themselves, ironically, leading the charge against it. I've heard quite a few Republicans making comments that they would love to throw people in jail and calling people terrorists for protesting something they don't agree with. That's a fucking shame. That's so wild. My party has lost its fucking mind. And the only reason why it's my party is because I don't have anywhere to go. Libertarians are a bit fucking weird. I mean, the concept in general is pretty good. But, like, libertarians themselves, they kind of seem a little extra. And the Democrats, well, they have their own set of fucking problems, obviously. But, like, I don't have anywhere to really go. If I go to a different party, it'll have its own set of problems. And right now, all the problems are pretty much the same. I mean, one side's arguing about keeping guns, the other one's arguing about keeping abortion. But other than that, everybody's kind of come together in a really stupid, mess. But, yikes. Let's see. He identified himself as a judge on LinkedIn. Don't most people identify what they do on LinkedIn? But whatever. I wonder if the barrister got in any trouble. Because the barrister had or the lawyer or whatever had posted, I think, isn't a barrister a lawyer? I think so. They posted it that he liked. Did they get in trouble? I mean, I hope not, but still. All right. So, that's all this. I thought Israel rescuers had come to kill me. Yikes. They're saying that the hostage was brainwashed by Hamas. Yeah, okay. Okay. Could it be that maybe they were just indiscriminately bombing shit and, like, kind of didn't seem to know where anybody was? And, like, a lot of times people have been getting killed, supposedly by accident. I'd be kind of scared. I don't think it's really a question of brainwashing by Hamas. I think they've been seeing the whole fucking area getting leveled. Let's see. Believed that his rescuers had come to kill him because of 8 months of brainwashing. I find that kind of unlikely, to be honest. And subjected to both psychological and physical torture. That's actually super weird because I don't know if it's him. I think it was him. There's like, I hope I have the article up. Do I have it up? Oh, we already covered that story. The Azov people. Okay. I don't have it, but one of the guys that were released said that Hamas had made him a birthday cake. And in the article that I had seen, it looked like it was this guy. Because it looked like he had his thumbs up and was looking happy. So if it's the same guy, then it sounds like we got a conflicting story. Because one guy thinks he's, endured physical and psychological torture. And then at the same time, it seems like the same guy was saying, hey, they made me a birthday cake. So, again, media can't keep it straight. Anyway, so this one was, I guess, published like 18 hours ago. Hamas officials say that no one has any idea how many Israeli hostages are still alive. Well, that's fucked. Do they not have like a little place they have them where you can go in and count them? Be like, all right, raise your hands if you're still alive. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this seems kind of silly that they're claiming they don't know how many they got left because honestly, like Israel didn't even know how many they actually had. They kept miscounting. And like I did a countdown video where we were counting how many hostages there had been. Actually, if I can go look, I could probably play that again for you guys. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. Oh, hello. Okay. Yeah, saw that right. Hey, Jens, how are you, darling? Haven't seen you forever. It's been Israel has called. Right? No shit. Third time's a charm. Oh, I'm sorry. I hate my YouTube doing that to you. Oh, let's see. Let's see if I can find that video real quick. Let's see, downloads. Because I downloaded it a while back, but just to replay, because they're saying they don't know how many hostages they have left. And I'm like, I believe that. Like, I believe they don't know how many's left. Where is that? Oh, here it is. Okay. Maybe. Can you? All right, there we go. Let's make it a little bigger. All right, so I got it paused for a moment. All right, so this article said that it was 252 taken. So we got that. Where's my play button? Oh, I'm an idiot. Here it is. And then we do our countdown. So this was posted by the Daily Mail and the IDF. The IDF has their own TikTok channel, actually. It kind of surprised me, but hey, whatever. So they're claiming they rescued 250 hostages on October the 13th, or at least that's when it was posted. So like in the first week or so. So that should bring us down to 2 hostages left. Because math. So. And it never shows you them shooting anybody. They just keep going through what looks like empty rooms. It's so weird. It just seems like they're shooting at nothing. But whatever. They said this is them. They said that this is them rescuing 250 hostages. So, okay. So we'll go with that. And then here, let me pause it. It says, and this was posted by APAC, the American Israeli Political Action Committee, or whatever the fuck it is. I can't remember. It's the lobbying group. They posted this on February the 12th. You can see here, kind of, you can see it there. And it says, the moment the IDF rescued 60-year-old Fernando Marman and 70-year-old Louis Har after 129 days. So that's 2. So there should be 0. There should be 0 hostages. But this video here, they apparently saved 2 more. So now we're at -2. And then these poor guys, they shot their own people. They claimed it was an accident, but how do you accidentally shoot somebody who's waving a white shirt, yelling in Hebrew, "Do not shoot"? You would think that would, you would not do that. So we're at -5. -5 hostages. Oh, they rescued, they said they rescued an 18-year-old, she's in the military, Private Ori Magdish, I guess. So we're at -6 hostages. I accidentally got this clip in because I realized they were talking about exchanging 70 hostages, but I think they got changed. So I'm not counting the 70 listed right here. Because when I made that video, I had forgotten that they were talking about doing it, but they had not. They changed it to like 30 or something. All right, this one. All right, at the bottom of the thing, it says Israel released 39 Palestinians in exchange for 24 Israeli hostages. So they're saying 24. So that makes -30 hostages. And so, yeah, so when this TikTok video, when this news article come up saying Hamas is like, we don't have 40 hostages to exchange, I believe them. I absolutely believe them. Because the math ain't mathin'. I can't imagine. I don't know. They'd have to go steal somebody else just to fucking make for the exchange because we're talking about negative 30 hostages. So, so when they're saying we don't know how many we got left, I don't know how you don't know how many you have alive. Go in there and fucking count them. But I find it so so weird. And so yeah, so I'll share that video with you because what a mess. You need a third party. We sort of do, but nobody pays attention to them because the only people who get paid attention to and get any news coverage is Democrats and Republicans, and that's where all the lobby money goes. And so, like libertarians, green parties, independent parties, they like the news doesn't really cover them. Most of the time, people don't even know they exist. A lot of times when we have those like those little polls or little questionnaires, that come up and go, ask you what your politics. It's like those little surveys. They usually do not list libertarian or independent party members, things like that. So they don't. So that way, is their way of subconsciously trying to get you to forget that those are options at all. Right? I know. That's so crazy. Like, yikes. UK just got a new party, the Four Party. Like, I wouldn't trust any party if they're getting like the same kind of funding and rubby elbows with the same kind of people I'm trying to get rid of. Like, it's almost no point. All right, so they say they have no official idea how many Israeli hostages are still alive. I don't know why you can't just walk in there and be like, "Yo, how many of y'all alive?" and then like report back. Honestly, I think they do know. I think they know that they don't have any left. They probably traded and exchanged what they had. Because I think the last time, I'd have to go digging around for it. It was like a couple of years ago. Might have been like 2010. I'm not entirely sure. But apparently, like, some people were taken by Hamas, and they gave up and they surrendered. And then a massacre ensued. And so I can see their hesitation to not want to, immediately give up or immediately tell them, hey, we don't have any more hostages to negotiate with, because it'll probably get even worse. So, all right. So apparently some weird ass shit happened in April. They're only reported this like 10 hours ago, but the article implies that it happened in April. So apparently a Secret Service agent went flippy nuts against another Secret Service agent in Kamala Harris's security detail. So most of these headlines I don't actually read much into. I only glance over it slightly before putting it up. So that way it's new for both of us. But like, I had to give this a gander. So it says, alarmed by an incident in April that involved a member of the Vice President Kamala Harris's security detail. The House Oversight Committee will be briefed next week on hiring and training issues that could be impacting the Secret Service. It sounds like they may have some ongoing issues, because it seems like that's a lot. It sounds like they're trying to revamp it a lot for, what might sounds like a one-off situation. So I'm getting a feeling this has actually happened a lot more than they've told us. The House Oversight and Accountability Chairman, James Comer of Kentucky, sent the Secret Service a letter in May asking to learn more about the concerns regarding the incident and the broader issue of training. In response to the letter received from Chairman James Comer, the U.S. Secret Service will comply with the House Oversight Committee's request for a briefing on the topics outlined, blah, blah, blah. But Comer summed up the incident. It was recently reported that a Secret Service agent tasked with protecting Vice President Kamala Harris physically attacked her superior and the commanding agent in charge, and other agents trying to subdue her while on duty at Joint Base Andrews, and assigned to the Vice President's protective detail. Now that seems awfully strange. And doesn't it though? I mean, it makes you wonder, because even if you're dealing with crazy people, let's pretend for a second she's crazy. Even though usually I would imagine anyone who gets a Secret Service detail like this gets a psychiatric evaluation. But let's say she's crazy. Even crazy people need something to set them off. Something you would think was said or she saw that would make her flip the fuck out of nowhere. Even crazy people will at least hear a voice in their head or something. So it seems wild that a Secret Service agent would attack her boss. I feel like maybe she saw something or something was said to her that made her react. A Secret Service spokesman confirmed that the agent had been removed from their assignment following the attack, and the agent began displaying behavior their colleagues found distressing and further described the incident as a medical matter. Like, I don't know how many movies y'all have seen, but I've seen a few movies where, like, somebody is, like, either the good guy or they saw something they weren't supposed to see or something, and they were subdued, and they, the spin story is, well, this person has psychiatric issues, they have this, they have that, because how does she have, like, some kind of mental health issue? I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes anxiety and panic attacks can pop up out of nowhere, don't get me wrong. But to actually attack your boss, another Secret Service agent, and have to be subdued by other agents, which sounds like she was holding her own pretty good for a minute. That says, more harrowing details. They claim the agent chest bumped and shoved her superior, then tackled and punched him while having her gun in her holster. So she never took her gun out of her holster. If she was crazy and dangerous, it seems like that would be one of the first things she would have done. I would think. But, whatever. Okay. Because if you're going for maximum damage, that's what you would do. But she didn't do that. And chest bumped. How often do you see women chest bump somebody? That's usually something men do. And it's not a sexist comment. I hope nobody takes it that way. Is that we have boobs, and that shit fucking hurts. Although she probably has a bulletproof vest, so bumping would probably be evenly distributed somewhat. But still, I don't know if I've ever seen very many women chest bump somebody. Usually that chest bumping and getting up in someone's face, that's usually something that men do. Generally, that is a male fighting characteristic, I guess. I don't know. So it seems odd. I find it more likely that he got in her face. So what if her boss actually chest bumped into her and she shoved him back and attacked him for getting in her face? That to me sounds a lot more probable. Because again, I have seen in my years, I have seen a lot of men, guys, whoever, chest bump. Either in like their way of high-fiving or their way of kind of bumping into them a little bit with their chest. And when you have your head to the side and you're kind of in their face. I've seen that 100 times, like working and like going to bars and stuff over the many decades. That's not something I've ever seen women do. So them claiming that she did this, I think it's more likely that he did it, and then she shoved him, and the fight ensued. That's what I believe happened. But I want to know what set that off. Because think of it, that's their superior officer. I assume, and he's been in the Secret Service for a while, that he's probably pretty well trained. I would assume so. Hell, even cops are usually trained with Krav Maga or whatever. I imagine, his training's not less than that of an average cop. So it seems odd that she was able to punch him and attack him with him not being able to stop her. Sounds unlikely. So it sounds like we're being given a bullshit story, and they're probably trying to paint her as a crazy person so nobody will believe her in case she did actually see something. But that's my opinion on that. Next. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. I guess someone going medieval on someone way too far. Israeli soldiers have employed a weapon rarely used since the 16th century. The fucking trebuchet. For some reason, they have decided to start using a trebuchet, and I think it was being thrown over a wall to burn down the woods and the trees they have there, which is a fucking really odd thing to do. Let's see. Let's see if I can play it for y'all. I won't have the sound on because I don't want YouTube to fucking hit me with copyrights and shit. But look at that thing go. Like, good grief. Like, this seems like a very weird, unnecessary thing to do. Like, this... Like, what the fuck? So they're doing it just to burn the... It's not even a shit ton of trees or nothing, but they're just... It seems like a very odd thing to do. I don't know. I just wanted to share how fucking odd it is to use a trebuchet. And they got that tall wall right there, so they can't even, see where it's going. So just kind of semi-indiscriminately just throwing fire over the wall. What the fuck? This this silliness right here. This lady, I don't know, something she said just kind of annoyed me. So the UN inquiry accuses Israel, Palestine militants of war crimes. Probably like dragging both in it now, I guess. Let me see. Actually, you wouldn't be able to hear it. Hold on. I'll have to go back. I'll have to stop sharing it and go back because I have to do it individually. Oh, hello, Moises. Hello, Ronnie. How are you? Oh, y'all are so great. Purple. All right. So let me share the screen. Oh, shit. I don't think I actually can share the screen. Because I have like Chrome tab, but that stuff's not in my Chrome tabs. Okay. I might be able to share this. So, all right. I hope I don't get a copyright hit for this.
Say happened is that they found that Hamas and these Palestinian, 6 other armed Palestinian groups, in addition, they say in some instances, Palestinians in civilian clothing as
Palestinians in civilian clothing. Like, if it, if she had said a militant group in civilian clothing, that'd been one thing. But just saying Palestinians in general, then of course regular Palestinians would be in civilian clothes. Like, I don't think they were militants. I think this is something I think a lot of people are missing. That they're assuming that everything that happened that day was Hamas, but I don't think it actually was. It's entirely possible that it was just it was like a few regular like people that ran through and saw the chaos and jumped in. Same way like when there's a hurricane and people have to be out there to stop looters and crime from happening because they're taking advantage of a situation. But it doesn't mean it's all the civilians. Trust me, if all like I don't know how many there are, like was it 2.6 million Palestinians were actually the bad guy? Trust me, we would have heard about it because it's hard to fight 2.6 million people. Yeah, if they were all the problem, Israel would have found themselves in some deep shit. So I think it was probably a small group of guys that went in there and took advantage of the situation and like was probably like just running around. They got shot up too though, because from what I saw in the video, we all saw people coming through. A lot of them like dressed in civilian clothes, and she said they didn't have weapons. The ones that had weapons were on like dirt bikes and shit. So that wasn't even like the same group of people. They were just, I don't know, probably the equivalent of looters or something, just running through and taking advantage of the situation, grabbing shit and doing whatever. Anyway, now this is not political. This I just ran across, and I find it weird because it says 1,600-year-old manuscript revealed earliest records of Jesus' childhood. And I thought, what? So scroll down, and it's saying this is infancy gospel of Thomas. I heard the gospel of Thomas, but not the infancy gospel of Thomas. Whatever. Dating back to the 4th or 5th century. So let me scroll down because this is the part that gets me. Apparently, until now, it was widely believed that the earliest version of this gospel is a manuscript from the 11th century. Like, that's kind of a long gap there between the death of Jesus and this. That's, a lot. But it was, let's see. Oh, here we go. So it said, written in Greek, this ancient document consists of 13 lines describing a miracle performed by Jesus as a child, specifically bringing clay birds to life. I remember like 15, 20 years ago seeing an article where they were talking about in Jesus' early life, he had brought back a bird back to life or whatever. So I don't know if y'all saw that article, but I had. So I don't know why they're saying this is new, because I heard about this, like I said, 15 or 20 years ago. But yeah, it was published 15 hours ago. So it seems like they're recycling some shit. I don't know why. And then we got this, and also this is a recycled article because it says, archaeologists believe they have they have discovered the final location of Noah's Ark. And I thought, nah, no fucking way they're recycling this. Don't tell me it's fucking Turkey. Why is my mouse not fucking working? Sorry. My mouse is being shitty. And sure enough, fucking Turkey. Because I feel like we all saw that. Like, I don't know how many years ago, but it's been a long time. But I remember this outline. It was like on a whole bunch of different publications years and years ago. So that's why I was like, don't tell me it's fucking turkey. And sure enough. So they recycled 2 of these, and I can't figure out like what they have to gain from that. But I just thought it was odd they recycled that. All right. And what are the last ones? Benjamin Hall warns anti-Semitism is morphing into anti-Americanism. Well, here's the thing. If a foreign country is so intertwined with ours that being anti-Semitic is being anti-Americanism, then that might tell you something. Hold on, let me read my comments real quick. She saw something above her pay grade. Yeah, I know, right, Jens? That's probably what happened. Hey, Bosco, how you doing, sugar? I tested both Pepsi. I got Pepsi from Fast Strip. I don't know what that is. Hello, Miss Frosty Broccoli. How are you? Lovely thing, you. Moises says, 2 Pepsis I have are lime and peach flavored. That sounds fucking weird. There's actually a peach soda that I love. I don't drink soda anymore, but if I was going to, it would be peach knee-high. Fucking love that shit. But Pepsi that's peach flavored sounds a little bizarre. Hello, Ruben. How are you, you darling guy? How are you? So glad you are here. All right. So, yeah, Benjamin Hall says anti-Semitism is morphing into anti-Americanism. It could be. It's just that we're sick and tired of, foreign governments. Specifically, I know they're referring to Israel in this one, but them having so much control with their lobbying and money and deciding what politicians we have by doing what they can to pay any politician or candidate they think will serve them best. That's so inappropriate. If me having a problem with foreign governments influencing our government is anti-Semitic, then so be it. I mean, those words really just don't have the power over me personally that they're probably hoping. Because, hold on. Dry mouth, sorry. Because how often, just on the internet in general, have we seen arguments and someone said, let's say, open border policy. And people say, hey, we need to close our border because we need to protect ourselves, this and that. And someone goes, you're a bigot, you're a racist. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want something bad to happen, you're called this and that. So that's how I feel. So if I don't think a foreign country should have the kind of influence that Israel is having on ours, and I'm called anti-Semitic for it, then so fucking be it, Like, I don't hate Jewish people just because they're Jewish. I don't. In fact, I mean, I have issues with government. I hate my government, but that doesn't mean I'm anti-American people. No, not at all. They want you to believe that you are anti-American because you don't like something that's going on in your government. I think that's horseshit, quite honestly. Let's see. The Israel-Hamas war spurred a shocking rise in anti-Semitism. Okay. No, I think we started seeing how much our government was being influenced. I think that's actually kind of what did it. Anyway, so there's that. Indeed. I'm a Pepsi fan, of course. I would hate it. I do miss Pepsi pineapple. That's just so weird. Pepsi pineapple? What the fuck? In and out between screens. Just wanted to say hi and leave a like. Meow meow. Well, meow meow to you too, Curtis. So glad you're here. And that's why I don't care about the Ukraine and Israel. Right? Exactly. And unfortunately, our governments, and I say plural, our governments, because yours too, have been sending weapons and money out the yin-yang. And last I heard, your country, I mean ours too, but your country's having some rough times right now. The housing crisis, I mean, the fucking rent out of control. Don't y'all have a bedroom tax? Like, they're fucking draining y'all dry, leaving shit tough for you guys just so they can send money to somewhere else. And it's fucking horseshit. And they're doing the same thing to us too. I know, right? Well, Moises here is like across the Atlantic, so they might have some wild, flavors going on over there. Yeah, that blows my mind. I almost want to find that and try it, but I don't know. I don't drink soda enough for that. It's a lot. I try not to drink anything that has a lot of sugar in it because, like, I do have a sweet tooth, but I shouldn't, drinking things, you kind of lose track of it, I guess. And a lot of times you'll drink juices and all kinds of stuff, and you don't really think about how many calories that is. And so I try not to do that. But yeah, I do miss like two drinks, Fresca and Peach Knee High. Fresca actually is my favorite. I fucking love that. I might actually check out and see if it has a lot of sugar. It doesn't taste like it does. So I actually don't know. Oh, anywho. Let me see. Was there Little Caesars did a promotion? Oh. Yeah, the U.S. is a mess. Like, our government is so terrible, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna go for this guy. Well, I'm gonna go for the. I'm like, they're both fucking trash. We should. I mean, honestly, I think we all should just get a guillotine out just to make some threats. Be like, yo, y'all better shape the fuck up. We're gonna get French. But let's see. Do I have? Okay, I don't have any. All right. I was checking to see if I had any tabs open here that I want to cover, because sometimes I do keep a tab over here just in case. Yeah. Well, there was one thing. I just don't know if anybody would want to see it. I'm not playing it on here, and I haven't gotten to yet. But it's called Truth. Oh, it's on it's on someone's tweet. It was Truth Troll Official, and it's supposed to be Europa, the last battle something. Let me go fucking look. What is this thing? Europa, the last battle. And it's taking a different look at what happened in Europe in World War II. Because it wasn't just Germany. Obviously, it was like Poland, Germany, Austria. It was like a few of them. But anyway, I haven't gone to look at it yet, but it seems like it's asking some pretty daring questions. So I am curious to at least, look at it and see what it's got to say, just for the hay of it. But the person who posted, I don't know if it's, I don't know where one might find it, because it seems like something that YouTube would probably have taken off, because it would be considered anti-Semitic and false information. But the person posted it. April 23rd, and it's like a whole bunch of different parts. It's like 13 parts of this, but it's called the Europa, the Last Battle, and Truth Troll Official is the one that posted it. So if you decide you want to look at it for your own personal curiosity to see a possibly a different point of view of what happened in Germany in World War II, that I haven't looked at it, so I can't really give a review. There's a good chance it will be seen as anti-Semitic, but if you're down with seeing that sort of thing, that's cool. I haven't looked at it yet myself, so I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying that if you're curious, yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, I think I've bitched and complained about as much as I can. All my little tabs are gone, so I got rid of all the headlines. 47 minutes. Well, at least I did about 15 minutes quicker than I usually do. So, yay. And I did stop and actually chat with y'all a little. So, yeah. Anyway. All right. And also pinned at the top of this chat is a PayPal little fundraiser thing I'm doing. So, if you can or want to help, that would be super awesome. I appreciate it. It has like a little story. It gives you like a backstory on what's going on. So, if you got questions about that, you feel free to message me on like Twitter or whatever. Because, yeah, I think most of y'all are on my Twitter, I think. Or can find me. Anyway. But I am going to hop off for now. We'll see who else is live. I think Deleted Scenes' birthday is going on right now. So, I think Curtis has that, like, simulcasting on his channel, I think. This guy right here. So I'm going to go and say hi to some folks on YouTube. Go get me a little snack. I've been hitting up this peach cobbler like a little heifer, and I feel bad about that. So I should probably go for a walk from that calorie off. Anyway, but I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm still looking for like a fun new movie to show y'all. A couple of movies have come out on this website I have called Inside Out 2 and Ultraman Rising. But I haven't heard anybody showing any kind of interest in that sort of thing, so I haven't offered to play it. Plus, I don't know. Some of y'all aren't down with cartoons. I'm personally usually not. Although Inside Out might be cute. I don't know. But whatever. If I find any movie I think y'all be interested in, you know I will post it. So, lots of hugs to everybody. I hope everybody has a happy Sunday, happy Father's Day, whichever one works for you. Mwah. You know, I might just play the little outro song. Oh, it's my intro, but I can play it as an outro. But hugs.
Welcome to the ship show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. 'Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, hey, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash.